Nice. Not a clown in sight. I love it.
That's funny.
Damn it, Dust. You had your chance.
I guess I'll make one tomorrow or for us next week with clowns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's one in our chat of Gary as a clown.
Dude, does anyone actually like clowns? Like, it's awful.
I mean,
don't they amuse you like a clown?
Here comes the clowns.
I mean, they don't bother me.
I used to tolerate the Bozo the clown from the actual show back in Chicago when I was a little kid because I wanted to be on that grand prize game. Did you guys ever see that show ever?
Mm-hmm.
Bozo the clown?
Yeah, so they had this
is that like Howdy Doody or something?
Well, it was a live show of characters, and it's interesting because in the end they ended up doing like cartoons, so they would show Transformers and G.I. Joe and stuff there, and clips of it. But I kid you not, in Chicago between like the early 80s, like all the way through the 80s, like maybe from the late 70s, like parents would you'd have to wait like years to get tickets. So if they were having a kid, they would go basically write in for the tickets, and it would take 4 or 5 years to get them, so the kids would be old enough to go on the show by the time. It was crazy. But they had this the grand prize game. It was a series of 6 buckets with ping pong balls that you had to start from the first one. It was easy, and it was cool. They used to give away bucket number 1 was like Archway cookies and a G.I. Joe toy, like an action figure. They'd give away Transformers and G.I. Joe and stuff like that, like all 80s stuff. And then if you got it into the 6th bucket at the end, it was you won a 10-speed bike and a crisp $100 bill. That's pretty cool. So every kid who was in Chicago, yep,
$100 bill,
yep. But that's about the only clown I could tolerate. Other than that, I'm good. So that's a little bit about me.
Thanks for sharing.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I sent you a clown, Brian.
You sent me a clown?
Yeah.
In a box?
Yeah.
Was the clown so big that they had to be split in half and put into 2 boxes?
Yes.
Because I did receive 2 boxes.
Ugh, gross.
All right, everybody, welcome to Breaking the Mold, episode 134. Title: My pegs have a first name. It's E.M.P.T.Y. I didn't know what the title could be, so all I know is that it's time for your Tuesday night delight. Maybe. I see viewership is down again. Aren't the vice presidents debating tonight? Is that the issue?
No, tomorrow.
I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah,
tomorrow?
So way to go.
Tonight's the pep rally or the pregame?
No, they just don't want to watch us, Brian.
Right. It's just going to say it's just us. It's just us.
We can have a debate on here. Maybe it'll go up.
Okay, yeah.
Gary doesn't like
cold beer.
I like the sky. It
to be blue.
Let's see. What is I gonna go with that? I don't know. Well, all right. Oh, I'm glad that we're not competing with the debate this time.
No, we're not.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Nick. I look like I was drawn by Frank Frazetta tonight.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Dom, let's start with you.
What's up?
What's going on?
Not much. My weekend was nice, I guess.
It was a nice weekend.
Nice weekend. But got pulled over. Got a ticket, a speeding ticket.
Oh,
speeding?
How fast?
I was thinking to pull a Brian Brink maneuver and just keep going, and head for Mexico.
Head for Mexico.
See if I can get to the next state. But no, yeah, I was driving to Long Island and in the lovely Staten Island, which is so wonderful because that borough is so sweet. They set up a speed trap, and there was like 4 cops pulling everybody over. If you're familiar with the 440, right over the outer bridge, you drive over there, and there's like a fucking road to nowhere. There's nothing. But for some reason, the speed limit is 50 miles per hour, which nobody fucking does 50 miles per hour on that road.
Mm-hmm.
But the cops decided to, pull everybody that was going over 8 miles per hour on that road. So,
was it a Sunday by chance?
it was a Sunday.
So I noticed that it's always Sunday morning.
Yep, it was Sunday morning at 10:30.
I've noticed it's always Sunday morning when cops set up those types of speed traps, like in the spot that you would, where you would never really kind of see them, but it's a good spot for them to be in.
Yep.
There's this down on I-95 coming through Delaware. If you're coming north from Maryland through Delaware to New Jersey, you have to go through the toll plaza as you exit Maryland, and Delaware gets you there, man.
Yep.
You need to. That's a steep toll. But then when you're driving on 95, especially in the morning because the sun rises in the east. Actually, 95 goes east-west in Delaware. Fun fact. Tune in to trivia next Wednesday. Maybe I'll ask that. But anyway, let's see. And you have to kind of go up this incline on the highway. And as soon as you get over the incline, the cops are all there on the medians and boom, 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 boom. You're all dead.
Yep.
They pull everyone over. So that's pretty interesting. And I found another speed trap that they do in Kennett Square, PA, 2 weeks ago. Or no, was that this past weekend? Might have been this past weekend actually. And yeah, I was like, wow. I was like, you could see them all parked on the shoulder for the people coming this way. And so as I got further up, I started flashing my lights at the oncoming traffic, get those people to slow down, man. 'Cause, dude, that was a nasty trap. I saw that they set for those people, man.
There was four of them. Like you said, Brian, they were all on the shoulder. It was on like an acceleration where you were merging from one road to another road. Where then and the funny thing is like I saw him just finish, like it was a cop just finishing up with a ticket. The car in front of him pulled into the right lane, and I just basically moved to the left, and he pulled out as well. And then when I passed him on the left, he decided to pull me over and said I was doing 70 and a 50, which I was not. I was.
What kind of cruiser got you?
It's like one of those all black cruisers with the gray. I'm hiding, but I'm not.
Like a Charger.
Yeah, it's the no. It was a Ford Explorer, all black, but like
an SUV got you.
The police, like the word police on the side is like in gray print, so you barely can see it.
Yeah.
So he pulls me over. This is the funny thing. So he pulls me over, walks up to my car, tells me that he's recording. And he says, "Can I have a license, please?" I give him my license. I have my wife looking for my registration and insurance, but he didn't care about that at all. He just grabbed my license, and he just when I gave him my license, he said, you were doing 70 and a 50, and he walked away. Comes back with a ticket and says, "Have a nice day." And that's it. No talking, no nothing, no. Usually, when a cop comes up to you, you'd be like, you know why I'm pulling you over.
Right.
There's like some type of conversation, and when I passed the cop and he flickered his lights on, I didn't know that he was pulling me over. So I kept continuing down the road, and he started pulling off to the shoulder, thinking that I guess I was going to pull off to the shoulder, but I didn't. So he sped up. When he realized that I wasn't pulling over, he sped up and got behind me again. And I'm like, oh my God, I guess he's pulling me over. So I pulled over, and he kind of did his 2-second spiel, which was like no conversation from me, no explanation, no trying to, convince him that I was not doing 70 or whatever the case may be. So I got the ticket. I don't know. I think it's in New York, so I have a Jersey license. So I know they say that, the points that I get in New York, when they come over to Jersey, I think it's like 1 point, no matter how many points that you get in New York.
Yeah, that's probably why he jacked you for 20
Yeah.
over.
Exactly.
It's
And
like it's better for their stats, but it doesn't affect you.
so like the lower ticket, which is like only going over like from 8 to like I can't remember. I think it's like 10 miles over the speed limit. It's like $148, and I think this ticket's going to cost me like $203, and then I think it's 3 points or 4 points, but
Yep.
I gotta see. They haven't posted the ticket yet.
Well, they don't. Yeah, I don't think they usually chit chat in those types of situations because they got to
No.
get back. They got to get back in stage for the next victim.
Oh, Brian, it's funny that you said that because so I'm sitting there after I got the ticket, I'm sitting there for like about a minute and a half, just looking over the ticket just to see what my what my damage was, and literally he just goes in reverse, like 25 yards behind me, and then pulls somebody right over again.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it was they were funding themselves that day. So
Rack 'em and stack
You
'em.
gonna fight it?
nah, I like if it's 6 points, yeah, I'll go fight it. But if it's 4 points, like I don't know if you guys are familiar, but New York has this weird fucking thing that if
Why are you going there anyway?
well, it's I went to go
family.
visit family.
You have
my
to go
wife's-
every week. Every week you're fucking going in New York.
It's true, Brian. That's my life.
I mean, it's their turn to get a ticket.
I know,
Let 'em
I know.
fucking come this
I
way.
know. Yeah, every fucking week it's like I feel like I'm up there. But well, I guess what was the other weekend before I went to go see Eric and Dave and all them. So, but the funny thing is that like when they pulled me over, what was I gonna say? You made me lost my spot, Brian. Sorry, but
You lost a spot in line.
Oh, New York has some funny thing. If you get like, say you're an out of state, or I'm assuming this works also for in-state New York people. But like, if you get 6 points over, like if you get 6 points on your New York license or in New York, any point over 6 points, you have to pay an additional $150, which is fucking ridiculous.
Oh, like a surcharge.
Yeah, it's like I like about I would say 8 years ago I got tagged with that because I was dating my wife at the time, and I got a HOV ticket, which was 2 points. Then I got a parking ticket, which because I parked at a bus stop. I guess you can't do that in New York, so
Unless you're a bus.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think you can do that anywhere.
I know, but I ran into
Look at Tom thinks he owns the road.
Right.
No,
I was just gonna
no.
say he's like,
Well, you
I just
probably own a piece of it with all these tickets you're getting.
I couldn't find parking. I wanted to run into a bank and to just deposit my check or whatever.
To rob it, right?
Yeah, exactly. But got 2 points for that, and then one day I was driving this we were going to head up to Toronto to go watch a concert, and an Ithaca cop got me speeding 20 miles per hour over the speed limit, and he pulled me over, and that was a 6 point ticket. So I accumulated 10 points on New York, and they sent me a nice little letter saying that I owe them $600 because every 150 per every point over 6 is what they charged me, and I had to pay $600 on top of it, which was fucking horrible.
So they count the points that you've accumulated in their state, basically.
Yes.
Well, I remember, like, as a kid, when I'd get tickets all the time, there was always this, every time you got a moving violation ticket, Jersey just hit you with something called, like, an insurance surcharge.
Yeah.
But it didn't have anything to do with your, like, insurance company, if I remember correctly. It was just, that's what they called it. Oh,
Yeah.
fucking fines.
Jersey's also
Jersey.
horrible because every road in Jersey it's like a corridor road or something like that, where it like if you get a ticket in that particular road or section, you basically your ticket doubles because it's like a work zone or like it's called. I think
The
they
whole
call
state's
it.
under construction.
Yeah,
We can double the fines.
Exactly, dude. It's like every road in New Jersey is that type of road. It's like so funny. So, but that was my weekend. That was Sunday.
Right.
I actually drove up to Long Island for my nephew's 16th birthday. So,
Great.
celebrated the birthday with him.
Seems like you have a birth. What do you got? 52 nephews? Because you got to celebrate a birthday.
He does.
Every
He does have
weekend he goes
a
for
niece or
a
nephew
birthday
or
party.
a godchild.
Jeez, everybody's
Pretty-
partying it up. Fucking
Listen,
Dom's family, the super spreaders.
Like, hey, look at you, man. Where were you? Weren't you family? Like last weekend, did you take a ride to Maine,
No, I went to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia? There
And
you
I
go.
hung out with 7 people. 7
But
people.
but the
I spoke to 7. I hung out with 7 people in the last. God, how long we've been doing this? 7 months? Is that what you're fucking accusing me of?
Yeah,
what I was gonna
you're
say. How-
you're definitely spreading it, Brian. You're
All
way
right.
too many.
Jeez. JD, what do you got, man? You been
What
pulled
have I
over?
got?
Yeah.
No, I didn't get pulled over. Nope. Yeah, weekend was a lot of fun. We hung out with the Wolfensteins all weekend. I tattooed Crystal, and we came here and ate some bomb ass tacos and all that kind of stuff. Some apple pie treats and stuff. Played with toys and talked and carried on, and yeah.
How's your oven situation?
So I switched the breaker. That didn't work. And then the day after she ordered new ones, it came back on.
What?
They
Yeah.
decided to just come
That's
back
how it
on.
works.
Huh?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's those gremlins, man. I tell you.
Well, it is. So like in all the research that I did, the control board essentially controls like if it's gonna power up or not.
Uh-huh.
So when that starts to go bad, there's a number of things that happen. It will shut off and come back on.
Uh-huh.
It will. You'll be able to turn the oven and heat it and all that stuff. You'll be able to heat it up and all that, and then it won't shut off,
Oh, that's
or
not
it won't heat at all, and you'll still have power there. So I just told her like, don't just ignore it. It's you know what I mean. It's definitely the control board that's wrong, that is faulty. I mean, it's old. It was here before I bought the place, so
good. Wow.
Yeah.
you know.
You know, my roommate in college, he had this thing with electronics, and he's like, well, here's what I do. Like, let's say the VCR goes on the fritz. He
Mhm.
unplugs it, puts it under his bed for a couple months, and then he pulls it back out, plugs it back in, and all of a sudden it starts working perfectly. That was how he dealt with technology or electronic issues.
Interesting.
And he said
Well-
it never failed. Never failed. Yeah. So,
Well, I
and
don't
I
know if
witnessed
that's
it
gonna work
once. Yeah,
for the
so
oven.
it's pretty wild.
The oven's a little big to fit under the bed.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the little, like Howie Mandel and the little monsters just replaced his microwave, dude. That's what happened.
You could always hang a curtain in front of it and
Yeah.
pretend it's under the bed.
Yeah.
Hey, in the chat, I happened to notice that Old Knight of Ren caught the big V. So, dude, I hope you do okay, man.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Hang in there.
Yeah, that.
I hope it's not serious. Like you get only like the mild kind.
The mild kind.
I heard there's the mild kind.
Oh, I think it just has
Is
a
that
lot
less-
to do with your health in general.
Is that less than medium? Mild is less than medium kind.
Well, if you're talking about like wing sauces,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Mild is less than medium from a heat standpoint. I'm sorry, JD.
No, that's
Anything
okay.
else to talk about?
Nope. Just drawing and hanging out.
You're not gonna bash him for having people over, Brian? You know,
What's that?
I have friends over. He's not. He's spreading the germs and everything.
No,
No. Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay. No problem.
Well, hopefully we get to see Brian soon.
Yeah.
I miss him.
Oh, Gary, what's new?
Dude, nothing. I'm on a 7-day stretch for work, so I've worked Saturday, Sunday. I had no infractions with law enforcement, so I guess that's a good thing.
Fuck
It's,
you.
It's a little, it's kind of like the Wild West down here. You really got to be hustling, I think, to get harassed. But you know,
Everyone drives slow down there anyway, because it's like, senior citizens driving.
no,
down
they
there.
really don't. It's really the opposite. It's incredibly fast, so much so that I'm like, I want to tell people, I'm like, why are you in such a hurry? Like, it's nice out. Like, why? What are you rushing for? Is there something? But yeah,
Little
no,
Billy's got to get to ballet.
it's been very kind of repetitive. So I'm looking forward to a break. It's been rainy pretty much every day, which kind of takes away the fun. And that's really about it. I got a 3-day weekend coming up, so hopefully a week from today I'll have some more exciting stuff to talk about versus it being so
Not-
calm. Yeah,
Not
exactly.
exciting stuff.
Exactly. There's really nothing. No one wants to hear about me like going to work and going to the gym. It's boring.
Oh. Yeah, no one wants to hear that.
Exactly.
I pick things up and put them down.
Exactly.
So old Knight of Ren says he has the SARS CoV-2, which is the newer strand, and it's mainly a GI tract issue. And you basically drink a gallon of water a day and grind through it. He says.
Yeah, I heard it's like a weaker. It's not as strong as before, but you just have to fight through it. Drink that water, fluids.
Dude,
I
man,
was just gonna say fluids, water is the key, but
GI tract issue help you drop weight too.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, what was your weekend like?
Let me tell you about my weekend.
I tell you, if you fucking stepped out inside your house, you're gonna get a rash of shit from me.
I did. So Friday started well. It was not as hectic at work. Things are calming down a bit. And Gary doesn't want to hear about my weekend, it seems.
No, he's leaving. He's telling you.
So, let's see here.
On Friday.
Friday, is always good. And I don't know if you guys are caught up on The Boys, but you
Yep.
should be caught up on The Boys because that show is phenomenal. Phenomenal with an F.
A capital F.
Capital F, yeah.
A capital FUCK nominal.
That's right.
I haven't
Gary,
watched it, so spoil it. I haven't finished. I haven't even
Sorry,
started
the-
the second season.
Sneeze.
Gary, I was just talking about how I think The Boys is fantastic.
I would concur. I think it's incredibly entertaining and it's different. I'm enjoying it very much myself. I agree with you.
You finished the second season, Gary?
No, because they're doing it one episode at a time.
Oh,
so
that
it's
they
like
are,
season
yeah.
6 on season 2.
Okay.
think.
So episode 6 is
So it's every
released?
Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many episodes there are, but I'm hoping that at some point that and Mandalorian overlap. And then, you have like multiple new shows on Friday for at least a couple
Oh, that
weeks.
would be nice. Yeah.
Right?
That
Yeah,
would be
it's
nice,
actually
yeah.
just at least for a couple weeks,
I'm pretty sure you're probably looking at 10 or 12 per season.
Yeah, I think the first season was 8 for the boys.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
probably I would
Maybe
think
there.
I think maybe like 10.
8 or 10.
And they're crescendoing right now. They're in that crescendo phase.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it could be another 2
Yep.
before they wrap this up because I could see something really big happening here soon. So anyway, and then Saturday I went and got a haircut and it's such a nice day and I was in such a good mood. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a fucking toy hunt. That's what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So I broadcast in our chat. It's like, hey, I'm going hunting. Anybody need anything? And nobody responded. So that means I was just hunting for myself. And Gary, I did know that you wanted a his tank, and I was going to look for one.
I appreciate that.
So I found absolutely nothing at the first Walmart. Then I went to a Target
Ooh.
and found nothing. Then
No
I went to
turtles?
another Target, found nothing. Then I went to another Walmart, found nothing. And I planned to end my trip at that last Walmart because there's this like barbecue stand that is usually open, and it wasn't. So then I was sad about that.
Oh.
But I found a new bagel place near me, and they had made a kick-ass bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. It was really good.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yep. And
Did you say they put it on a bagel?
Yeah, it's a bagel place.
Ah, gotcha. What did you do? Oh, plain bagel or
Whole wheat bagel.
whole wheat bagel?
Yeah. And let's see. Um, Yard work, shit like that. But and I watched Real Steel, which is about fighting Rock'em Sock'em robots in like real life.
Hell yeah.
I've been wanting to see that movie ever since I saw it. You know, it was kind of like those movies where, oh yeah, I want to see that when it comes out, and then it's like out and gone, and before you're like, oh, I wonder if that's still playing. Like, oh wow,
Right.
it's not in theater anymore. So I've been waiting for that to come on streaming for a long time, and it came on Netflix, and it was pretty good.
It was the first time you saw it, Brian?
First time. Yep.
Oh wow. It's a
And
it's a feel good movie.
yeah, for sure. You know, it made me laugh. It
Hmm.
made me it made me be emotional. You know, stuff
I-
like
He
that.
cried.
I
He
Cried.
cried. That's what that
I
means.
thought Alita Battle Angel did it a little bit better.
You know, I've seen that recently as well, and I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, but it's I would say it's I can see the action being the same, but like I think it's a totally different concept with regards to
Oh, now I remember.
cyborg warriors rather than just full out robots.
Actually, yeah, now I remember Alita. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was actually a really good movie too. I like that one.
Like, but I get you what you mean, Gary. Like the action scenes and the
Right.
battles.
Yeah,
and
it's just kind of familiar.
it's
for
kind
me.
of very familiar.
Hmm.
It's got that feel.
And I wanted, as I was, I think this was Sunday I saw this. I can't remember when I saw. Maybe it was Sunday. So I was already in an emotional state thanks to fucking Hugh Jackman and Evangeline Lilly and that little kid. Not that I like the character that much, but I think that kid was a great actor, and I looked him up, and he hadn't really done much. So, sorry, kid. Um, but he kind of reminded me of he he could have done Anakin in Episode 1.
I was
and
gonna
done-
say he's the next
Yeah.
Jake Lloyd in the making.
Yeah, but the thing is, he did such a better job than old Jake did,
Did he?
Like-
He did.
doing kind of the same role a little bit.
He's very
Um,
believable in the role in
Yeah,
regards to
for
his
sure.
feelings and.
But I wanted there is an ACBA photographer. His name is Michael Wisman. You can check him out on Instagram or in the ACBA group. And he dropped a picture on Sunday, and I want to share this with you guys. And I want you to look at this, and I want you to tell me what you think of it. I'm just kind of curious.
It's cute. They can't visit Aunt May because she's, high risk, and they're FaceTiming her, I'm assuming, and, wishing her a happy birthday. Are you looking more deep into? Should I look through this from Brian's classes?
Right, exactly. That's what-
Perhaps,
Like,
but
did they finish
So-
having sex and they came in the kitchen?
it's not
Do
what
I-
I think about. No.
Okay.
This photo really got to me, emotionally. It made me feel very emotional. And when you first see it, it's like, oh, this is kind of cute, in a situational aspect kind of thing. But when you really start thinking about it, and when these characters and stuff, Peter and Mary Jane would go visit Aunt May on her birthday. This
Yeah.
little old woman who lives alone and stuff like that, and has been through so much, and now she's home alone on her birthday, right? Because the people that love her can't go see her. You can see here he's got the masks and the Lysol wipes. Dom, look, your Lysol wipes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Hard to get.
yeah, and perhaps maybe they made her cupcakes and they sent her cupcakes in the mail or something, so they're sharing that online. But so this COVID thing, this whole pandemic, obviously it starts out as it's funny with the toilet paper, then it becomes a nuisance, and then it goes on and on and on, right? And just when you think things are starting to get better, then you start getting worse. And here of course we're podcasting every week about this, not about this, but doing things remote. But here we are, it's now starting to trickle into the things that we kind of follow. Like, I follow
Hmm.
articulated comic book art. I'm not great at it, but I love to see what people do with these toys that we collect. And so it's bleeding in, right? And you know, it's coming to a point now, like we have movies and TV and more fiction in the hopper, right? Like all this shit's that being filmed. Pretty soon it's all going to become very unrealistic when you see people on TV interacting in shows and stuff, and these people are not social distancing, they're not wearing face masks, right? You know, this is becoming a way of life, and I don't I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. And pretty soon we're going to be like, when you go back and you look at things like the Avengers and stuff, it's like, oh yeah, you know I think stuff like that's going to start become hard to relate to when you see people in actual situations not being in the same situation that we're in. And I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that.
So you feel that the changes that we do now due to this epidemic will carry through years after, and you don't feel like things will get back to normal after a vaccine, and this is just everybody's okay with the situation, the vaccines being implied, and you don't think people are going to be back to shaking hands and not wearing masks when you go into a Walmart or Target, and just doing what we normally did after this year. You feel like this will be the norm, like the things that we're changing now will be the norm going forward, Brian?
Or maybe for a while, for a long while.
Yeah, when I thought about it, I felt like there's definitely going to be a time where these changes that we've implemented due to the epidemic will probably carry us through from next year, probably even into 2022. But I feel like we're definitely going to go back to normal, and then like in 2025, this is all going to be like a oh look, this is what happened and this is what we did, and you know it's just going to be.
2025. I mean, that's like a Star Wars trilogy.
Hmm.
It is, and that's the funny thing, like because it's just put it to like even I've seen it, like like you're saying in regards to this picture, it has bleed into everything that we do. It's like with even toy photography, people are showing the effects of COVID in their photo pictures, like as you can see here. So it's definitely got an effect, and I'm hoping in the long run we do become go back to the way we used to interact, because I can't see a world and keeping distance away from each other, and social distancing, and not shaking hands or hugging and doing the stuff that we normally would do prior to this epidemic.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
It's
know?
like, it's funny though. Like, I'm looking at pictures of that Wonderfest that occurred this weekend over in China,
Hmm.
and for years, I mean, and I mean like decades, like you've seen people in China wearing masks and
That's
stuff.
what
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna. That's what I was gonna say. Is like it's now mainstream in America, but like these things are things that like Japan and China has been
These
the
are in
norm
their
since the
culture, yeah.
80s and 90s. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Yep.
It's been part of their culture, just
Yep,
part
yep.
of their everyday routine. You know?
And I'm assuming I can see in their culture it was something that they practiced due to the fact that obviously population size, and how crowded everybody is, and protecting yourself from germs and stuff like that is built into that culture of theirs. And it may be our normal when things do go back to normal, we stay like this.
Yeah.
you
That's the
know
part I don't agree with. Things are not going to go back to normal.
I but the thing is, it's
It's
going to be
only
the
going to
new
get
normal.
worse.
Yeah,
It's only going to get worse because Americans are fucking stupid. This
Come
country
on,
is full of
JD.
fucking idiots.
Have a little bit more confidence in us.
No.
Yeah. But
No.
it's funny. I mean, looking at this photo now, like I'm starting to get a little more emotional, because this is it, man. Like before, we were keeping worlds separate. Like You come in our house, play with our toys, we talk to each other, blah blah blah. Then you go outside, and you got to do what you got to do when you're out there. But it's like, this is it, man. This is the crossover. Like it's bleeding over now into our hobby, kind of thing. And I don't know if I'm just looking into this way more than I should be, but to me, this particular shot this guy took is
No,
very poignant. It's very important.
It's very impactful, and
Yeah.
I completely understand where you're coming from.
I mean, I think it's like, look back and watch a movie like Ghostbusters, right? And the way that's 1984, and the way people are smoking in that movie, right? And you kind of think about it now,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
you're kind of like, ugh, it's kind of gross, almost, right? You kind of think through a little bit. And I laugh because I don't know if you guys ever had to travel much for work before 2001, and all that stuff happened, right, in the world. But traveling, I used to travel quite extensively for work then, and that was a huge impact on just how I conducted my job, basically, and what that was like to have to navigate airports and, right, the differences. So watch Home Alone, right?
Yeah.
And that's 1990, 91. And that whole family trying to get to the Chicago, airport and get through, the airport, and rush to the plane. You're like, that movie would have been over. There's no way you would even attempted to make that trip, right?
Yeah. You never got to the gate.
Yeah, right. It's just you wouldn't even just, I'll have to find another flight. There's no way in hell we're gonna make it there because you're never gonna get through security and then all that stuff. So, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I think it's like anything else. It's things evolve and people will decide what they feel is the right decision for them.
And I think you hit it right there, Gary. Like, it's like, because like when I look at that picture, Brian, like there's a part of me that when this thing happened, I stayed away from my parents because I didn't want, both are very high risk, especially my mother, so it was like hard for me not to go see my mom or, interact with my mom and outside, just phone calls or, FaceTime, whatever you want to do, or use, our current technology. But that it is so important. Like you start realizing the first couple months when I didn't have or didn't go physically see her, the how important it was to do that, especially this time in her life when she's struggling and fighting cancer. So I want to see her. I want to physically be there with her, and it was like I wasn't able to do that for the during that March and April, July, June timeframe. But then when things started calming down, and I knew that I was being careful with myself, and I just made I made that decision that like it's important, it's more important to me to go see my mom, and I kept my distance away from her, and went to see her and have that physical interaction and being physically face to face in front of her, talking and enjoying a conversation, because that's what it's about. I don't want to be a satellite with my mom talking to her like I'm in fucking the moon and I'm talking, out of space and just saying hi to my mom over TV, But it's like, it's got to come to a decision when everyone feels comfortable to say, you know what, I can't. I understand the risk, but I can't. If I'm pulling myself away from the people I love, are you really truly, living in regards to, there's got to be a balance. I feel.
Yeah, I think it's right. So, like in Dom's situation, right? This weekend, he risked saving about 7 minutes on his drive for an expensive ticket, and he gambled, and that one didn't work out for him, right?
It did. These fucking the commutes to Long Island are costing.
There was always, I forget, one of the early years of The Simpsons, there was something about, it was like a debate Homer was doing for somewhere. I think it was like when he was in school, and he was about raising the speed limit or lowering the speed limit to 55. And he was like against it, and he was just, he's like, sure, it'll save a few lives, but thousands will be late. It's kind of funny.
But I think on an individual perspective, you have to determine on when you feel, what's important to you and whether the risk, outweighs the benefits in regards to having those relationship with the people that you like to see face to face. So.
But that prompt. So this is gonna totally swing topics for to some degree. But you're talking about looking at pictures, Brian, right? And kind of getting like either just feels or, kind of got you thinking more. So it's not nearly as deep. But can you guys? I mean, I could Google it. I'm sure myself. And I know Brian, you collect this line, but I've seen some really kick-ass pictures of some of this Diaclone stuff. Like some of these new looking sets. I don't know if they're repaints or if they look more alien and like organic than what some of the other ones were. But what's the history of that line? Like, where's it actually come from? Is it based off of like retro stuff, or is it just like, is it part of that Microman thing for Takara in like the 70s?
Well, it was actually Diaclone, from way back when. Um, it was back before. So they would make like these mech suits and modular kind of mech. It's kind of like Gundam, right? Guys that drive giant robots. We kind of think
Okay.
about it that way, right? So basically, the mechs are not sentient, even though they do transform and do certain things and stuff like that. So basically, someone has to drive them, the Diaclone driver,
So
and they had
okay.
various sizes, and they had bad guys. These are the ones that you're seeing now. The Waruders are the bad guys, and they're in the past couple years they've finally been putting out bad guy sets as opposed to just good guy sets.
Is that okay? That's interesting. And isn't it right? I know like some of the original G1 Transformers were based on Diaclone stuff, right? That's why they had pilots, right, and seats for them, right? The cars
Exactly.
and
So
even
that
the
started.
Dinobots. Okay.
Yep. So that started coming later when they started actually making real world Earth cars.
I gotcha.
Do that.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's the difference. Okay, because yeah, it is some of those ones I've seen like on BBTS, some of the other places. I've seen some other pictures because I was just googling and I kind of went down a bit of a rabbit hole to look at it. And I know it seems that part of the appeal of that line is the interactivity and actually being able to play with them and do stuff and rearrange them, I guess, right, or reconfigure them maybe.
Yeah.
But some of the sets are looking far more less robotic to me, and we're looking a lot more. Very Voltron, like robot beast ish. I don't know, kind of feel.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They invite kit bashing to this.
Okay.
Basically, all of these things kind of start to work together, so you can really kind of start really making your own kind of creations and things like that. It's a bit overwhelming. If you, it's going to take some practice. Start getting all your stuff together. Then eventually, you get everything out of the box. You're gonna put it in a tote, and you're just take out pieces and build things.
No, I was looking at this like this reboot soldier type 2 thing. And it's very very creature looking versus robot.
And then you've got people like the McFans Toys contingent, Lost Planet. They're kind of making some new. They do KOs and things like that, but they also have been putting out some new sets as well to kind of contribute to the line. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, there was this one thing that like this robot like transforms into like this Tri-Rambler thing. Have you seen that? It like looks like he folds into like a giant motorcycle or something.
Yep.
It's actually pretty cool looking. JD or Dom, do you guys do this line or is it or no?
No.
Okay, just curious.
I've picked up some of the Diaclone Transformers when, I usually, when the repaints of those Diaclones Masterpiece came out, I picked them up just because I know their history was started from Diaclone. So I liked some of those repaints or the recolor, like the original colors that they came in.
Oh, like
cool.
The blue Trailbreaker, right?
Yeah.
It's all that stuff.
Or the black.
Yeah,
the black Ironhide.
These are tempting, Brian. They're pretty cool looking, but yeah, I could see your point. Like it seems like a big commitment to.
Well,
mess around with these.
You just you got to carve out some time to play with them, right? This isn't just open it up, pose it for 20 minutes,
right?
Put it on a shelf, move on to the next thing. Like you can basically, dude, a few of these items will suck up half a day just messing with them. So like I said, if you don't have the time, like right now I don't have the time, so I don't bother I'll end up opening it and I won't be able to finish playing with it, and then I'll push it off to the side, lose all the pieces, kind of stuff. So I just don't open it. It's much safer that way. But I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it.
That's cool. It's good to know. Interesting. I think I'll stick to those little plastic dinosaurs that you guys talked about in ETR, the Dino Rider sets.
When that
Nice and simple.
I forget when that line launched, but they have put out 76 unique items for that line already. Well, when I say unique, some of them are repaints and things like that, but 76 items, I should say. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff. It's like, when you're a kid, it's like one of those sets that you'd want as a kid to be complete. I want all of them so I can do all of it. It's crazy. So far, I'm keeping up, so I'm pretty excited about that. First set came out in 2016. 76 items since May 2016.
Wait,
spreadsheet for it.
76?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Brian.
Oh, pardon me, 78. We're up to 78
Interesting.
now.
Mm.
So you haven't opened any yet, right? So you
I've
haven't
opened a few.
Oh, you have?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, in 2016, I of course opened up a few.
All right.
I've even opened some stuff up, messed with it, and then sold it. And then I was like,
why did I do that?
Yeah, and then I ended up coming back in. And then, as I had told you, when they first started out, they would do some in the primary colors, and then they would do some recolors. And I was like, oh, the recolors are really cool. You know what? I'm just going to get the recolor versions. But they didn't just stick to 2 different types of recolors. Then they started adding a third color in there, and then this and this. And I was like,
Wasn't that like
I better go get them all.
Yeah, right. One of those was like the moon version. I remember seeing, right?
Yeah,
I felt like they would like change from like the red, blue, and yellow to like the moon.
So I thought that they would always do that default color scheme, and then they would just do moon-based versions of them all. But that's not the route that they went. And then as a result, I'm like, well, then that means I'm going to be missing out on a whole bunch of it. Screw it, just get them all. Go get them all. And before it started really snowballing and getting kind of popular, some of that stuff you could go back and get it for what you might call a reasonable price, right? Whereas now, if you try to go back and get some of that old stuff, it's commanding like some fans toys money. It's nuts. Yeah. So
interesting. So my other question for you, Brian, is how many Scarlets have you acquired for your future display, or not yet? You're waiting for the price to.
So I did buy a second one, but the face paint was messed up on it. And then while I was toy hunting this weekend, and I saw that Zool, I was like, wait a minute, that's the same skin tone. Boom, let me get that. So at the same time, I didn't buy it in the store because even though it was there, but it was in PA, which means I would have had to pay sales tax, And so I was like, screw it. I looked it up on Amazon and like, oh, we'll deliver it tomorrow. I'm like, all right, fine. I bought it there, and I was like, let me add a Scarlet to that order too. And when that Scarlet came, it also had messed up paint. So I think I'm just gonna send them all back and wait for them to go on sale, and then I'll stock up.
You've had a bad luck of run with paint between Lionel and these Scarlets, man. That's kind of
I don't know what's going on.
Well, I opened the Profiteer Destro on Sunday after work.
Okay.
And that thing is freaking so much fun. His have you guys opened him yet, JD? Or did you?
I haven't gotten him yet.
He has his like fur cloak has like animal paws on it. It's ridiculous. It's pretty cool.
Which figure is this? I'm sorry again.
The Pimp Destro.
Oh, the Pimp Destro. Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't picked him up either. I'm hoping to walk into a GameStop and see him, but haven't seen that. Haven't.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys ever like hold on to anything to open? Because I hadn't opened him or the regular Destro. I kind of just had been sitting on them just to kind of have like, I guess for a crummy day or just just something to do. So I haven't opened the regular one yet, but the I don't know. Do you guys do that ever? Hold on to something?
Yeah, we have boxes of like Marvel Legends and all kinds of other stuff. like complete waves of Build-A-Figures.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Just- yeah.
The Serpent
just-
Society.
Yeah, we
It's
got
still,
like. I
still
mean,
in the
there's
box.
there's a bunch of stuff up there. I recently got the Mercenary Tau from Dragon Ball, the SH Figuarts, and
Is that
is
the
it
big
like-
fucking thing?
no, it's the guy with the pink tree thing, the pillar
yeah.
that he throws.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it prompted me to. We had all the other. We had like Jackie Chun and Master Roshi and that classic Bulma. There was a bunch of them that we had that we didn't open, and it kind of prompted me to open the rest.
That's
of them.
cool. Yeah, no, I guess I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Hold on to something.
Yeah,
The,
it's like the rainy day sort of stuff.
yeah, I was just gonna say. It's like, now, see, I wish Figure Arts would make Avatar: The Last Airbender toys because I don't think have ever been any really great toys for that line. And
there's a recent. I think Diamond Select has a recent set out for them, but
have you seen them? They're not. They're just not fun.
And like the ones that are in Walgreens.
Why do you have them?
No,
I see them in the stores.
I see them in the stores too, but like the only ones I see are the ones in Walgreens. But like I heard the actual like Diamond Select packaging, the ones that usually come in when the Marvel characters with the bubble, the plastic bubble.
Yeah.
And big, that version has a lot more accessories. So like the ones that you buy at Walgreens don't come with all the accessories.
Yeah.
So.
But there was a mainstream toy line for that back in like 07, 08, but they were all like action feature
horrible.
stuff. Yeah. It was kind of
like you plug Aang into Appa and then fucking push a button and he flies away.
Exactly. And I think they did like 3 Lego sets, but those are pretty pricey to get now. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to tangent us. It just kind of got me thinking since we were talking about that before.
For how popular that cartoon series got, that's a kind of a fail on the toy line. Yeah, and it's you're right. JD, it still is. It's very popular. Even as popular as more popular, I would feel it than its predecessor, which is Legend of Korra. So, but Korra has a strong following as well. But it's very interesting to see that they didn't really put out any good toys for that cartoon.
Yeah, that Dino Rider set you guys looked at, like I said, I picked that up on Entertainment Earth, Brian, when you put it in the chat the other day. Little plastic guys. I was like,
oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that.
Little green and purple dinosaurs.
I'm kind of curious how big they are.
They can't be very large at all. Dino Rider stuff aside, it kind of reminded me of like those, if you ever got one of those big sets as a kid, just with all the plastic multicolored dinosaurs and the plastic mat you could put down to look like volcanoes and water and stuff like that. I don't know. Did you guys ever
Muscle Men can ride them.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, see, that's actually do the Super 7. They're probably too small for those. What's the Star Wars stuff called, Dom? With those little like the Mega Construct size that have like ships and stuff now.
I forgot.
I'm looking at them. I bought the
Force something. Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I bought the Mandalorian and the Child in that little tiny scale just because I'm a sucker.
Action Fleet?
Sort of.
I think so. Yeah. I think it's something like that. But I hope that line does really well. But I
what?
I do. It's a cute little line.
Cute.
I can. Its playability is I think is better than I don't know,
dude. I like that scale, Mandalorian and a Child. I think better than the Figure Arts one. It looks good.
Well, I think it's apples and oranges, but at the end of the day,
no, I know.
I think for what it is and the playability for a kid and to enjoy action figures in that size, and the compatibility, because I think it's like you got those ports, you can add it, you can plug things into other sets and stuff like that, but the kids these days don't like fuck that. I'm going back to my TikTok.
So Mission Fleet?
Yeah, I think it's Mission Fleet.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, that's
Mission something.
They came out with a lot of sets, like all different price range and accessories.
Yeah, they've got little figures and stuff.
Millennium Falcon set they got, and
Wait, they
looks
did a
pretty cool.
Falcon set?
Yeah, they did a Falcon set. Yeah,
Like the ship Falcon, or just
the
like
ship. Yeah, the ship.
Are you serious? For these,
Yeah.
little, I have not seen the Falcon.
It's a bigger set. Yeah, it's like I think it's like $35. I think.
What? Hold on, I gotta
Yeah.
Google this now.
There's a Falcon set. There's an X-wing, I think, with Luke.
I've seen I've seen the X-wing. I've seen the Darth Vader tie. I've seen Anakin's fighter. I've seen the smaller ones, like the Walker, the Arc Walker thing with Obi-Wan.
I think I saw a Falcon set. Yeah, I might be wrong, Gary. Who knows?
No, I'm gonna look. Let me see.
I drink a lot at night.
No, it does. You are correct. Holy shit.
Oh, should we go down some kind of Mission Fleet rabbit hole? What the heck's wrong? What are we looking at? Let's do it. You wanna?
Yeah, I mean, I just
Well, a lot of people are using that, like Gary, that Mandalorian set that Gary's talked about. They're using the child in that set as the replacement because I think it's a little bit bigger than the Black Series one. It's a tad bigger, or more. Like, cause I wanted that Black Series child.
the Black
is just
Series one-
so small head and
yeah,
it's like
it doesn't have the what's it called, JD? You made it. I'm drawing a blank.
the
The
cradle.
bassinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cradle. It doesn't.
The pram.
The pram.
So you're talking about this
The
thing
Black
here?
Series.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's the one I bought that because I was a sucker. Not for I didn't care about the vehicle. I just bought the little figure and the child. But yeah, I didn't know they made a Falcon. Holy crap!
yeah. They made a Falcon.
So Dom, what you're telling me is you said people are using this for their Black Series instead of the Black Series one.
Yeah, because the proportions are a little bit better with that one. When you look at it, like the head is more like substantial when you see the figure. Because in the Black Series, it looks like the child's head in the Black Series is really small. But it's something that people have been using as a replacement. I'm only saying that because I've seen videos on people doing it and searching for it and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's like some of those are a little silly, but the figures are, for what they are, kind of entertaining. I think they might scale with your Castle Grayskull, Brian.
no, but they're a little bit bigger. They're a little bit bigger.
Why?
bigger?
Why?
They're a little bit
Why?
bigger, yeah.
Why would I have Luke Skywalker interact with Castle
Listen, a
Grayskull?
mashup, right?
Listen,
You're the same
dude.
guy that used to have Lionel riding your Battle Cat. I remember at some point in your display.
Well, at least they're made by the same company.
It's like,
They are.
Oh my
But-
goodness! So,
It's
dude,
okay,
they're
it's
making
okay.
this. Why don't they just? Why? Because does stuff have to be cute? Why don't they just expand 3 3/4 and force that shit down the kid's throat as opposed to making something like this? Why?
I think this is more towards the age group where kids still play with toys. That's why, Brian.
I
Like
think
3
Dom's right.
3/4, 3 3/4 is more to a 6-year-old, maybe 6, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, and they don't play with toys, dude. The fucking
Well, make the younger kids play
it's
with
the
the older
3
kids' toys.
It's
then.
the 4-year-old to the 5-year-old age group, at the rescue bot group.
All right. So from ages 2 to 4, you play with toys, and then from ages 40 to 50, you play with toys.
right, you play with
Exactly.
them again.
That's it.
I don't know.
But
I don't know. They're pretty
It's
fun,
the
though.
same thing.
it is the same thing.
This
dude.
is
It's just
3 3/4. It's the same play
playability.
style, whatever
Yep,
the heck
yep,
it
yep,
is.
yep. I think they do connect. Like there's other, the ports are all the same in every other thing, so you can port weapons and backpacks that they give them and stuff like that.
Which is actually right. That was taken from Jason the Wheeled Warriors back in the day because those were all interchangeable, same way.
They got Vader's ship. Yeah, they got they pushed out a lot. Like they pushed.
Yeah, I didn't know they did a Falcon. I'd seen the other
Yeah,
ships. And
they pushed
so
out a lot.
I'd picked up the I don't know 5-6 weeks ago the Boba Fett on the little card just because it was spontaneous and I was buying other stuff I think at Target and then I bought the child and the Mandalorian just because again I'm a sucker for it.
Did you guys ever play a PC game called Yoda Stories? This really reminds me of that. It's like this little cutesy game.
Nope.
It had puzzles and stuff. I don't know. It was. It was fine. I enjoyed it. I could probably go for a little of that right now, actually. But yeah, it's the same thing. This is what we played with, but now they got to make them junior.
Yeah, just
It's
more towards the kids who's going to actually play with them and fuck around with them.
That's fine. Well, hopefully, quarantine life gets people playing with toys till they're a little older,
Hmm.
maybe, and then you know what? Maybe it'll bring everything back. Pretty soon we'll have Dino Riders and Silverhawks. That'd be great.
That would be great. I would like that. I would like Dino Riders back.
God,
Speaking of quarantine and disease and all that stuff,
yeah, let's do it.
Chan and I watched Utopia.
JD, tell me about it. I want to start watching it, I think. But see, Chan yesterday, she's like, we watched Perry Mason, we watched Utopia. I'm like, I can't keep up. I
What
can't keep up
platform
with
is
you
that on,
guys.
JD?
I believe it's Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah. So what's the I read a synopsis of it last night, and it had something to do with a group of people that all like the same comic book, and they're chasing down
So
versions of the. What are they doing?
I guess like so it's this artist dude, and he is obviously crazy, and this is an unpublished sort of underground sort of thing,
Hmm.
and it's all uh, so in the book he like predicts everything that's going to happen as far as pandemics and disease and viruses that kill off the population and all this. And these group of friends meet up for the first time at a comic book convention because there's word of new pages surfacing that are going to be for sale, and they meet up, um, and it turns out like everything in the book is real.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So then there's this the villain, I guess, of the book. So there's like your protagonist and then the helpers and um, the villains. So the main villain, I guess, doesn't want anyone to see it. So anybody that does see it, they kill them. They kill those people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sh-
It's pretty wild. Like I think there's 8 episodes of that. Maybe we watched like the first 4 right off the bat, and then like the next night we watched
Interesting.
and the end of it.
So like the first full season has dropped.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I might have to put that into my rotation then.
Yeah. I added it to my queue yesterday.
It's pretty good.
I finished The Good Place. Did any of you guys ever watch that?
You know, I was watching it back when I still had TV, and then the cable box broke, and then I just stopped watching it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I saw.
So it's
So, have you guys seen that show?
The
No.
Good Place, no.
Yeah, all right. So it's very interesting. So it has a very interesting concept in the very beginning, the whole plot of the show, and then I don't know what you think, Gary, but as I'm watching it, and it goes from season to season, I'm like, wow, these guys, they're almost like jumping the shark.
yes.
Right?
It swings very.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Because it's almost like we have no more material to write about using the original premise of the show. So what they did was transform the premise of the show.
Correct.
And I'm like, I don't know if they are, what do you call it? I don't, I don't know if these guys are super clever
Or desperate, right?
or desperate,
Yeah.
or completely inadequate at writing a series. So I think if it's all 3 of those things and they ended up doing
And it
what they
worked.
did, I'm like, that was fantastic.
So I'll tell you, Brian, it's one of those shows that I enjoyed it, just like what you're describing.
Yeah.
And I think it hit me. I don't know if you guys ever hit a show where you're like, or whatever it is, wherever you're at in life, whatever you have going on, it kind of fills something for you there, I guess, right? So when I first discovered it, I was back when I was first moving to New York for work, and I was in like the temp housing in the hotel, so I wasn't really doing anything except going to work and the gym and going back to the room there. And I think season 2 had just hit, so I caught up on season 1 on Netflix, and enjoyed the first season a lot. Second season's pretty good. It's 4 seasons. The third one was kind of boring, but to your point, it kind of came back around for the 4th season, and it ended like it was like the right amount of time. You know, I mean, I'm glad they didn't try and do any more with it, and it was.
Right.
You know, I thought it was a well-written ending, and it kind of fit better. But you're right; it was one of those shows where it kind of went from one extreme to a different, and then kind of wrapped back up, came back around, you know, almost to the beginning. But that
I need to rewatch. I should probably rewatch all of it just because I've probably forgotten some things.
It's entertaining, and you know, in this world of like watching stuff like The Boys and stuff that's a bit more graphic and, you know, a little more intense. It was nice, lighthearted, you know, but still thought provoking, you know, especially the way it ends. I thought it was kind of had you thinking just a little bit. I liked it.
What's her face's character? The
Kristen
blonde.
Bell.
Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Like, so I would say her. I don't want to spoil it for people, but her character itself, her I don't know, her crass outlook to her fellow man,
Right.
I would say, just hilarious.
Yes. No, that's true. This is good.
It's really clever how she ended up where she ended up at the good place, I should say. Which, now it's all starting to come back to me, Gary. Yeah, the good place was. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I won't say anymore. It's good. Where'd Dom go? Dom went to go watch the good place.
Right. He was like, I'm gonna go watch right now.
I'm gonna go catch the end of the debate. All right, good place, Utopia. You know, in case anybody else is wondering, we don't really talk about tonight, unless you guys want to talk about stylized Superions or something like that.
Are you guys still who's still into the? You know, I know JD. It felt like you had kind of transitioned away from your interest in the robots for a bit, and then, you know, Chan mentioned last night that you picked up some of the mainstream stuff to mess around with. Are you guys still in, or are you just like Brian? I know you were trying to finish your crew.
Wait, what?
I was just kind of gauging interest in the robots still. You know, when you guys, you know, if you're kind of still feeling just third party, right? Oh, fair enough, right? So, you know. I thought you guys had an interesting point last night, Brian, just because I caught up this morning, and I think we were all at a point, you know, not that long ago, maybe a few years, I wouldn't even say more than 3, where stuff would drop and everyone would been pretty psyched and excited no matter what it was, right, to see, and now it's kind of like, it doesn't seem to be as much interest in a lot of that stuff.
Is my camera fuzzy to you?
A little bit,
yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe I have gone to the future or gone to the past, and I'm hoping that I didn't screw up my parents' meeting, because that's how I feel like I'm fading away. It feels.
Marty!
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Your toys have already faded, so.
Look at this.
I mean, your toys are gone.
Yeah. I don't know why. You can't focus on me.
Toys are gone.
Toys are gone. They're gone. You know, that's something I want to talk to you guys about. So obviously I have been pretty vocal about having to work in my toy room. And at work now we are doing Zoom. And in not every meeting, but in some of our meetings, they want the camera on.
Yeah, it's mandatory,
So yeah, this is
I see. Now it makes sense.
Does it make sense now, Dom?
It makes sense now.
So, but the thing is, it's not hard to put up this sheet, but I have to work in here 3 days a week. I podcast in here 3 days a week, and it's like I'm gonna keep taking this thing up and down every day. You know, if I don't take it down, out of sight, out of mind. That's very much how I live my life. Now work is really infringing on the hobby. So it's like, if I'm going to keep this shit covered up all the time, why the fuck do I have it at all? So
I think you can look into it, Brian. I think Zoom has like backgrounds that you can put. I think you can have the ability to put like a background that you're in space. So it doesn't show what your your true background is.
Oh, I'm back in focus.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I
Right,
got you back to
yeah,
good.
so
All right.
we use Teams, and you can't. I don't think you can change the background on, but you can make it like out of focus. So it's just kind of like a blur, and it's just you know, as the
Yeah.
that's actually in focus there versus like
Yeah. I see a lot of people like when I'm on Zoom and there's like, you know, it's you need to have your camera on. There's people that have like, you know, they're on a beach, you know, they have the
Right.
beach background, you know, some guys out in outer space.
I think the best one I liked is the people that like do The Office from Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
I've seen that one before. I was like, that's pretty funny.
I tell you
But
what's really funny is when you hear stuff falling behind the sheet.
Oh, dude, I put it in the group chat.
Fucking
but,
Wizard of Oz.
Listen, my Mo2
Nothing's behind the
origins
curtain.
are just as bad as Mythic Legions. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like they are equally as weak in the ankles.
There's nothing behind the
They're all
curtain.
falling. I've had freaking Skeletor keeps falling down like every other night.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's pretty calm. You guys kind of want to call it tonight?
What do you want?
Sure.
I don't know if we had anything else. I know it's, what is it, like 9:15?
It's 9:15. You know where your children are?
Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah, I guess whatever. If you want to, you know, I think JD had something, right? JD, you had something.
Oh.
See, I remember you, JD. See, I remember you.
I mean, sure.
I know
I
you
don't
had
know.
a question. Say it.
Chan and
Tell.
I were. I mean, this goes back to like when the Batman trailer came out and all that, and it was just a thought that I had, and we talked about it for a while. But, I mean, we probably sat and talked about it for a good, I don't know, probably for most of that day. So it was one of those things. Like, I don't know how I feel about the casting and all that stuff, and
Okay.
I know everybody's flipping their shit about it and all that kind of stuff. But I just started thinking, and I'm like, if you had your chance, like who would you choose to represent Batman? And I mean, we can take this anywhere, like to, you know, like Marvel obviously has been doing this already. But I think that's one of DC's problems is they just keep casting new people over and over again, and it's that's why it loses a lot of interest. But who do you think would be good for that kind of thing?
Well, how do you guys feel about the prior Batmans that were cast as Batmans? Do you like, you know, I know there was a time when, you know, after Michael Keaton, there was like a, you know, Val Kilmer and then George Clooney and, you know, all that shit. But, you know, Christian Bale, did you feel like he was a bad Batman?
I mean, he was all right.
Thought he was fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you think they did a horrible job in casting him as Batman? Like, you know, I feel like he did an okay job for what they were portraying in that series. And
Sure.
like I had my second guesses on when they did it for what's the guy? I'm sorry, I just lost. Who's the actor that did it just recently in Justice League and Batman versus Superman?
Ben Affleck.
Ben
Ben
Affleck?
Affleck. Like, yeah, like people were like questioning whether Ben Affleck would do a good job as Batman. And I thought he did a pretty good job.
The more I looked at him, I'm like, I don't know. He's a pretty good Batman.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
He fits.
But you remember, like, there was a time where before even the movie came out, like people were questioning whether he would be a good Batman, you know. And when the movie did come out, and you know, everyone enjoyed him as Batman as well. So, and then I guess this one, what is it? Peterson, or whatever his name is.
Pattinson. Robert Pattinson.
I think he's going to play a good part. I think he's going to do a good job for what it is. But
Chan brought up a good point. She was like, yeah, I can see him more as like Nightwing or one of those characters, just because of
The slenderness, so
yeah,
his
his
shape,
build, the
yeah,
way
his
he
build.
looks. Like I feel that DC could have been really handling this way in a really good way, but they just keep missing that opportunity. So I don't know if anybody has like, okay, who would be your Batman? It's like, okay, so say overall they got 10 years to make Batman movies. You know what I mean? The entire collection of whatever throughout the years, year one, year two, all the Dark Knight stuff. Like if they were gonna do all that stuff,
Hmm. You know, sometimes I have trouble with questions like this. Because I don't know, certain actors are just so fleeting to me. You know, the the tall, dark, and handsome white man. Like I don't know. I think maybe I'm not paying that much attention to them. But it's like maybe I can only think of maybe people from the past, so I wouldn't be able to come up with maybe like a realistic choice. And I really I am not out there watching like a lot of stuff right now. So, or when I do look at stuff, I'm just like, wow, that guy would be a great Green Lantern or something like that, you know?
I think I'd pick Mark Wahlberg.
As
Really?
Batman.
Sure.
wow,
Hmm.
wow,
It's a little short, but I think that they could do perspective to figure it out.
Huh.
wow. That's an interesting answer.
Yeah, and then here's a name that I hear a lot. Frank puts a young John Hamm. I have no idea who John Hamm is.
So I mean, if you Google like who should play Batman, there's like a list of like 20 different actors that Hollywood thinks should play fucking Batman.
And Nicolas Cage is on
That
top.
the John Hamm, he wouldn't be bad for it. That's the dude from Mad Men.
Okay.
I mean, he wouldn't.
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
wouldn't-
He wouldn't be. Yeah, like I can
wouldn't
see
be
him playing like
like
Yeah, he's in a lot of
he'd be
stuff.
good in the
anime.
you
I
know,
think Batman animated he would be great in. like,
no,
like,
no, I'm saying he'd like he can pull off that Playboy.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? He could pull that off really well, I think.
That he would definitely be one. I like just thinking when you just brought him up. He
Yeah.
definitely would have that. The Bruce Wayne look.
Bruce Wayne. Yep.
And he does have a substantial chin, right? Like a jawline.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I'm looking him up, and also Frank happens to mention he says a younger John Hamm. So is he too old to begin the training?
Yeah, he's a little older.
Well,
older.
see, this is kind of what sparked our like this is where the conversation ended, and it was like, okay, well, if you're going back in time and they could, do this,
Like if you were back in
before
like
if
Bale
if
took
they
over
were
the
already
realm.
like 5 years into it or something like that, like who would you throw into that? 10 years into it or something like that, you know what I mean? Shit, one of her mentions was what's his name? Cillian Murphy, I think.
Cillian Murphy.
Who's that?
He was the guy from
Scarecrow, right?
Peaky Blinders. Yep, he played Scarecrow in the Bale Batman.
Oh, really?
I mean, you also have to think about like
Nah, I don't think
who's got the chops to actually like play like the ultimate Batman through the years, like Bale did.
Knight of Ren mentioned Scott Eastwood. He looks like
Captain America.
He looks like Captain America.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess he does kind of look like that. But yeah, he could. He looks like a Bruce Wayne type for sure. Then there's Cillian Murphy, or is it Killian? I don't know. All right.
Yeah,
Besides
that-
Batman, who else? Like,
Well, so my choice would have been fuck. Now I'm gonna forget his name. He played Cable.
Brosnan.
No,
Josh.
Josh Brolin.
There you go.
Yes.
Brolin.
Like, if they would have started with him like 10 years ago, and
They
then
said-
he could have just been Batman all this time.
Dude, he really reminds me of the Dark Knight Batman a bit, for sure.
Yep.
Pierce Brosnan is on that list. James Bond. He should be playing Batman because he definitely has that Bruce Wayne look.
Yeah, someone mentioned Justin Theroux. So I've never heard the name Justin Theroux, and when I Google him, it looks like the only reason why people would know his name is because he's with Jennifer Aniston, or he was, or he's going to be. But I've never seen. See, I'm terrible at this. I don't watch enough. I don't watch enough to of these young people coming up.
They said
Figure this out.
they said that Heath Ledger auditioned for Batman before, like, the whole Batman trilogy, that whole thing started. He actually auditioned and they picked Bale over him.
And then someone mentioned Matt Bomer. See that? I can see
I
him.
don't know who that is.
How about Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell. He's old, right?
Yeah.
He's super old. Now.
Yeah, I think he's too old now to
But
start.
like
he
a
could've.
younger
He
Kurt
could've.
Russell.
Yeah, he could have.
Maybe.
Yeah, take away the mullet.
Well, yeah, you will.
Clean him up for Bruce
Just clean him
Wayne.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that. Pierce Brosnan.
And Frank's yelling at me. Watch The Leftovers on HBO. Oh my god. It's the best TV show that nobody saw. Let's check it out.
What about Christian Slater? If he'd started like 15 years ago.
Take
No.
this seriously.
How
He
about
don't-
the act?
Yeah. He doesn't
How
have the chops.
How about the actor who played Beast in the new X-Men, the younger actor?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Nicholas, I think his name, Nicholas Holt. I think that's his name.
Yeah, Night of Ren mentions Michael Fassbender as well. That's interesting. Dude, what if why does everybody pick British actors? Why, like, so Christian Bale, now this kid from Twilight, what's the deal? They do the better Bat voice, maybe? Oh no. What about like a Joker? You guys got any ideas for that? Like,
So there I'm sticking with the dead dude. He just-
Ledger?
Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix.
Dude, I
Joaquin
think,
Phoenix, man, he fucking killed. Like, if you did a Batman series in that light of the Joker movie,
Mhm.
like if they've been making movies for the last 10 years and it was in that light, Josh Brolin and Joaquin Phoenix, I think that would be pretty ridiculous.
I think Steve Buscemi could play the Joker, and that'd be pretty interesting,
Steve
entertaining.
Buscemi. Wow, what
Huh.
an interesting choice.
Yeah,
I think that would make it
I
interesting.
don't think he's taking this serious.
No, I think that would be an interesting, like, he could bring an interesting twist to it.
Huh. I think that's an interesting choice for sure. I was thinking like maybe give that Andy Serkis guy a try.
Yeah,
The guy who did Golem and
Yep.
everything else. Like,
About Johnny Depp.
I mean, we already had Johnny Depp Jr. try it, right? With what's his name? The dude, the prima donna guy from Justice Suicide Squad who tried it. What's his name? Zac Efron? No, that's not
Yeah.
him. What? No,
Jay
that
Leto?
wasn't. That's it.
Jared Leto, not Jay. Jay.
Who's the guy? Who's the guy that played Green Goblin in the first Superman? Spider-Man. How about him?
Oh God, bro.
Oh,
Willem
Willem
Dafoe.
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Play a
That
good
would
Joker.
be- I think
He's got the mouth for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think he'd be fucking creepy as fuck.
Yeah, like just take it to that side,
Yeah.
that crazy fucking lunatic side.
Um, what about? All right, how about one? Let's pick another character. Like,
Do a female character or like a penguin or a Riddler?
let's do a female character. Good or
Catwoman.
bad? Catwoman.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Um,
Every day of the week. Ask me again, Brian. Michelle
Catwoman.
Pfeiffer. I don't know. There hasn't been. I didn't like any of the other Catwomans that were out there. Sorry. Didn't enjoy the one with.
Well, I thought, are we supposed to pick people who did the role or who?
No.
could play the role?
That
Who
could play the
could?
raid. Like
If you had your choice, who would you pick? Like if you're the casting director.
Dude,
Jessica Alba.
listen, Shannon Elizabeth could have played Catwoman 20 years ago and like aged incredibly well in that role.
Listen, old timer. Okay, stop bringing your
What?
Wait,
center.
Who? Did?
Shannon
Who'd you say?
Elizabeth,
Shannon
the
Elizabeth.
American Pie.
Yeah, American Pie.
Oh.
I think
dude.
she has no acting skills.
Yeah. I know. Again, I
guys are
think Gary's just picking people based on looks.
And the outfits, yes, I won't lie.
I would pick Meg Ryan. Wonderful. She could kill it.
So Nick chose Alice Eve, who I just Googled. I know this actress's face, but I can't place a movie that I've
To
seen
Google
her
her.
in. She kind of looks like Reese Witherspoon a little bit, but I don't know what movies she's been in. Nick, give me a movie. Star Trek 2.
Star Trek 2.
The Wrath of Khan? God, she looks really great for her age.
Dude, isn't she the one who had the makeup on in Dodgeball with like the
I think he's talking about the remakes, the J.J. Abram
Yeah.
Star Trek movies.
The nurse that snuck on the ship. Dude, can you do better than that? Like, than some, maybe I got IMDb here. I'll just do that. What else you guys got? Like, what about, let's say Poison Ivy? That should narrow down the list. Some redhead bombshell.
Jamie Alexander as Poison Ivy. She's like the Thor girl. The girl that she always had. She's very tall and.
Oh, Alice Eve played Mary Walker in Iron Fist. Mary Walker, the crazy lady, the crazy girl. She had a real name, a real comic book name. Never mind. I got the figure over there. She had half this one. Who's this? She played this character.
Mary.
The Mary.
Mary. What's her fucking name? I forgot.
Jesus Christ.
We suck.
Uh,
We're terrible.
yeah.
At this. We need the
We're
Friday show
horrible
to answer these
nerds.
questions. Bella Thorne for Poison Ivy. That's a good one. Typhoid
Thorne.
Mary. Thank you, Frank. That's
Typhoid
really
Mary,
good.
yeah.
Typhoid Mary. I was
I know
getting
it's
ready to her
Mary.
name's like Poison something or ever.
How about Felicity Jones as Catwoman?
Felicity Jones.
Mhm.
Felicity Jones. That was what's her name from Rogue One?
Yeah.
Bella Thorne is who?
Bella Thorne as Poison Ivy. Not feeling it, Gary?
No.
Not Poison.
Let's see.
She doesn't have to be a
How
redhead,
about-
you know.
Deborah Ann Wall, the girl from True Blood.
The girl who played Rogue?
No, that's
No. Yeah, what the hell else was she in?
Oh, the girl who played in Daredevil that was in True Blood. The girl who played the.
Oh, yeah.
Played Jessica. Yeah.
Yep, that's who I was thinking about.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
No,
Yeah, I'm not feeling that. I was thinking maybe like a Jessica Chastain, maybe
I
something
don't know
like
who
that.
that is.
Charlize Theron as a Poison Ivy. I always think of like a slender, tall.
That's why I picked the
Yeah, I
girl
know,
from
I know.
or from
Yep. She's a good one. I want Danny DeVito to come back as Penguin.
yeah.
That'd be cool. But I like to see, like, I guess in the new Batman, it's going to be who's that actor that's going to be playing Penguin? But he's probably going to be you won't even recognize him probably in the movie because they're going to put so much fucking makeup and shit on him. I forgot what the actor is who's going to play him in the new one.
Have they announced the cast for this? It's not under wraps anymore, right?
Yeah, I think some of the cast already known. I think the Penguin's in it, but it's who's that guy that plays in SWAT? Colin Farrell? Or is it Colin Farrell? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's the guy who played Bullseye in the Daredevil
Yes.
movie. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, he's not a bad actor, actually.
No,
You guys
he's
see
not.
him in True Detective.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
That fucking shit's good.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Zoe Kravitz is gonna be Catwoman.
Yeah.
Oh, and they have Andy Serkis as Alfred. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Turturro's gonna be. I'm all right. I'm starting to get excited now. Turturro's
Yeah, they got-
in this too.
They got a good cast.
I should watch this trailer again.
I like from the Bale movie to Justice League and Batman vs. Batman. I think they've done a good job. Like even like Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, I thought they cast it very well back then. But
That was my initial thought. I was like,
Like,
you
you know-
could probably just leave her.
yeah, like they've done good jobs in casting these things. It's just that the stories, some of the fucking stories are just stupid. But definitely did a good job cast. Like Jim Carrey as the Riddler, I thought they did a good job with that. But like in a real world, I think, like you said, JD, I think the real world type of thing, that's where it gets interesting and who you really would portray in that real world.
Yeah, to get that more
Storyline.
adult,
Yeah.
that adult, everyday sort of moody feel, Mr. Freeze, Arnold, hands down.
That was like, that's when it got like, I agree.
No.
It got kind of ridiculous. I can see the guy who played in Breaking Bad as Mr. Freeze.
Oh, Heisenberg.
Yep.
Yeah, you would be pretty good.
Yeah, with the bald head and everything. Yeah. Put a
Yeah,
fucking freeze pack on that motherfucker.
I mean a Robin. You know what I mean? Like that's where we started going with it. It was like
Yeah.
because she had said about like I can see some of these actors I could see them as like the Bat family, the Bat fam sort of thing, you know. But I don't know.
Night of Ren said James Spader as Mr. Freeze. Now, in real life, I don't know if old Jimmy can pull it off. He's a little old, but um, but when he did the voice of Ultron in Age of Ultron, man, it fucking gave me chills. And
Oh yeah. He did a
thinking
good
of
job.
Ultron's voice as Mr. Freeze's voice really kind of gives me chills too. Pun intended.
He does a good job in Blacklist. Like his whole persona.
Gave me chills when he's gonna play Mr. Freeze.
Okay, Grandpa. Thank you. Yeah, we got it.
I'm supposed to have the dad jokes.
He gave me the chills. Burr. That was a good discussion. I think it all depends, like if from this new series and how far they carry it is going to be interesting, and how far they take it. 2 and out, 3 and out.
2 and out.
You think you think they'll just do 2 movies with those actors and just jump to another multiverse?
Probably
for the Batman thing.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows, dude. I hope it takes off. They got a good cast in there, and if they decide to just keep putting, I mean, there's plenty of Batman villains, man. So just keep doing it. And the guy's young enough. Let's say he does a good job, right? Gary, let's say they get to a 3rd movie and you get to see a Batmobile that you really want to see, right? Not some fucking garage welded up
Agreed. Right.
go-kart or whatever
Right.
the heck it is.
Mario go-kart.
Oh, that thing looks so bad. It looks so bad.
I think it's cool.
No. It looks so bad.
So you want your Batmobile to be sleek and
Yeah, he wants.
I want it to look like
showroom piece.
something that a billionaire would be able to construct or have built versus some, backyard go-kart, It's like, so either take an existing car and modify it or have it constructed in a way.
Gary wants it to look like a Dodge Viper.
No, but it's got to be a combination of practical and still sleek with some style to it.
So did you like the Tumbler or did you not like the Tumbler?
No, I did like the Tumbler. I absolutely liked the Tumbler. I thought it was an interesting take on it's different.
I love
right?
the Tumbler. Yeah, the Tumbler was awesome.
And what did he drive like regularly, right? Bruce Wayne.
A Lamborghini.
Yeah, freaking Lamborghini, which makes sense to me, right? I get it.
Like you want a souped up Lamborghini, don't you?
No, I don't want a Lamborghini. I don't think that's the right car. I don't think it's the right car, but I think you take something modified or you have like some type of actual resto mod that's constructed, but not like something that just looks like it's built out of, steel tubing in your garage.
Okay, Lamborghini with Hummer tires.
No, it's like, no.
So basically what's going to happen is he's going to bring that thing out in public and you're not going to hear the line, I got to get me one of these. It's going to be like, God, what a piece of crap this is. So what you're saying.
Right.
Who did this?
Isn't that Will Smith's line?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Couldn't at least put side paneling on it?
I mean, Gordon dropped it in Batman Begins, right? Didn't he say that when he drove it?
I gotta get one of these. Or
I gotta get one of these.
Yeah,
I need me one of these.
I was thinking of Will Smith flying that alien spaceship, right?
Oh yeah, well it became a thing after that.
Yeah.
Right? Hey Gary, speaking of Independence Day, real quick. So obviously Jeff Goldblum in it. Jeff Goldblum was in Jurassic Park. Did you get that Jurassic Park reference in Independence Day? It is.
It's been
And
a long time. Oh.
He said, "Must go faster." Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, when he's in the back of the Jeep, like
Yeah,
all
so
stretched out.
So
Yeah,
he says that in Jurassic Park, but he also says it in Independence Day when they're trying to escape the mothership.
he
after
does.
they
Oh, when they drop
yeah, when
after he
yeah,
drops
they're
the
trying to
nuke.
get.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Must go faster.
Yep. Totally harken back to Jurassic Park there. But I've never.
You think that was? You
I
think
don't
that was
watch a lot
intentional?
of Goldblum movies, but I haven't heard that. Like I didn't hear that in Ragnarok. I don't think. But he should have just.
Kept it
yeah.
going.
No, I don't think he said it.
Just kept it
Right,
going.
right.
But after Independence Day, everybody's like dropping that line. I got to get me one of these. I mean, that's a pretty iconic line. I know you didn't just shoot that green shit at me.
Where does he get these wonderful toys?
All right, let's push buttons and get out
Anyway.
of here.
Fair
Push
enough.
them buttons.
All right, Gary, where can they find you?
Find me on Facebook. It's the best place.
JD.
Pigment surgery and shelf gravy here tomorrow night. New figure banging.
That's right.
Oh, figure
Nobody-
banging tomorrow.
New figure banging tomorrow. Dom, where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook and speeding down the 440 in Staten Island with my finger out the window. Fuck you.
All right. You can find me at Brink Lasser on Instagram. Tune in tomorrow night for Figure Banging. And hey, I want that Friday show to come back. You remember that Friday show, that MPSB theater?
Oh yeah.
I'd like to hear them talk about casting characters for DC.
Yeah, they know more names than we do.
That's true.
I think they come back this week. Nick, did you come back this week? I think there's a 10-second delay in the chat. Tell me.
I'm sure he'll give us the update.
Yes, there it is.
Yes.
They will be back on Friday.
Nice. That's cool.
So now I can get back on my Friday schedule with my Pacific Fried Rice, watch The Boys, and then watch
Pacific
MPSB
fried
Theater.
rice.
That's right.
Look at you.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
So long.
Good week.
Bye.
Take care. See you Tuesday.
Say it with me now. Really?